Greetings once again, horror fanatics. Your friend the Nightmare Nerd is back with the latest episode of Scary Good Drinks. For this episode, I am actually going back to a previous company whose product I had reviewed. For this review, we are doing Stupid Man Suit Hard Cider. This comes to us from the B Nektar Cider Company, the same people who produced the Zombie Killer cider I had sampled in a previous video. Now, Zombie Killer was not offensive by any means, but I'm not a huge drinker of apple ale, so it wasn't exactly up my alley, but it wasn't bad at all. The main thing that just turned me off a little bit was the sheer sweetness, but that's also why I'm not big into apple ales. So we'll see if this particular label addresses that at all. Let's get you a better look at this here label. As you can see, this is obviously inspired by the movie Donnie Darko. There we are. And that very obviously is Frank, or some poser attempting to be Frank on the cover. And I kind of liked Donnie Darko. It was not exactly a horror movie per se. I would call it more sci-fi with a bit of drama and tragedy thrown in. But there was definitely some horror influence. So Frank was obviously a very memorable character. Why are you wearing that stupid human suit? So, according to the label here, 95 days, 23 hours, 14 minutes, 38 seconds. That's when the batch will be ready. And when it is, we can breathe a sigh of relief, because there will be so much dark fruit cider to look forward to. The one in Stupid Man Suit must complete the batch and return the tank to the primary universe where it belongs. Do not doubt his commitment to the fermentation. The bottling day is coming, and the world is counting on him. What's the point of living if you don't have a bottle? Be afraid of the dark. Pretty cool. So according to our ingredients here, we have apple juice, cherry juice concentrated. That was also in the Zombie Killer. I'm starting to be a little concerned here. Raspberry juice concentrate, black currant juice concentrate, beet sugar. I didn't realize beets made sugar. Potassium metabisulfite and potassium sorbate to prevent re-fermentation, just like Zombie Killer. So, without further ado, shall we unbottle? Now then, definitely similar to Zombie Killer. The smell is actually slightly less sweet, so my hopes just went up a little bit. I mean, you can definitely tell there's apple in this. You get a hint of something else. A little bit of cherry, definitely, but perhaps you're also getting that black currant. It actually smells pretty good. So, let's see how it pours. Very, very pink, just like Zombie Killer. Perhaps this is the blood effect I mentioned in that video. This one actually fizzes a lot more than the Zombie Killer. That's perhaps hopeful for the carbonation effect. Fizzes a lot like a soda pop, but obviously no foam head on this, probably because it's apples, not beer. But this is actually a much darker shade of red or pink than the Zombie Killer. Not that that's a bad thing, particularly since we're talking about horror-themed beverages. Now comes, of course, the taste test. Well, this definitely is not as sweet as Zombie Killer. That's a plus in my eyes. There's actually a slight hint of bitterness. I imagine that is the black currant. It's actually got a little bit of that bite to it. If you watch the Zombie Killer video, I mentioned that when I do drink apple ciders, well, hard apple ciders, I tend to lean toward Angry Orchard because I feel it has a little bit of sharpness, a little bit of what I can call apple bite, citrusy kind of bite. This has that. There's a definite taste to that. So overall, this definitely is distinct from Zombie Killer. That's a major plus, not simply because I was a little underwhelmed by Zombie Killer, but because it showed this is a brewery that really does put the effort in. They don't want each of their products tasting the same. They want to add at least a little twist to each one, which is always a plus to me. It shows they aren't lazy, shows they're not money grubbing like so much of Hollywood, including the horror industry, can be, and it shows a lot of effort. So this is actually a very good hard cider that I would highly recommend. Perhaps you could pour yourself a glass while you turn the lights down and watch Donnie talking to Frank. Overall, I give Stupid Human Suit, pardon me, 4 stars. Enjoy.